Hey, it's your boy Serg Dragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me today is Tay Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
Chris Petrie.
Too sweet.
And Mike Henry.
If you're ready for another episode of the Heavens Monsters podcast, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you're ready for the Heavens Monsters podcast, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a speed run because both he and I are at work and we got done early, but we are still on the clock. He's got to leave and I got to finish up. So what that means is that we're going to do a speed run, tell the story and get the results. And after both shows of Impact Wrestling started when June 15th and June 22nd, we'll then get our results and our take on one or two things about the episode. Is that okay with you guys? Also, I definitely got him to mention something at the end of the podcast, hopefully. Okay, let's start the show. With what started the show, bro, on that night?
The North, Ethan Page, and Josh Alexander versus the Rascals in a tag team championship match.
After the allegations of the North accusing the Rascals of jumping their boy Trey for the number one contender spot, they end up going after the North as planned. In this match, the Rascals did their best, but it wasn't enough thanks to the underhanded tactics of Ethan Page and the brutality of Josh Alexander of the North. They retained their titles and moved forward. Next.
I don't know his percent, but I know that.
Eddie Edwards confronts Ace Austin after the attack, but was held back by security. Yeah. Once again, after 2 weeks in a row, 2 weeks, Trey has been assaulted once again. And now everybody's pointing fingers. Even one person was interviewed saying, did you attack Trey? Because he's one of the competitors in the Fatal 5-Way at Slammiversary. And he says, no. I don't jump people from behind. If I do, I make sure to grab a cameraman so he knows how I did it, when I did it, and know that nobody could stop me. Any more questions? Nope. Then I'll take my leave. Also, before that interview, he was on the phone saying about us fellow Canadians got to stick close to each other, stick together. So look more into that. Next up,
Nevia versus Havoc.
no, with Havoc.
With Havoc versus Kimberly.
Nevaeh is in her, I think this will be a first singles match against Kimberly, a person that
Kimber.
Kimber. Yeah, sorry. It's two names though.
Yeah.
It's two names. So Kimber ended up having to fight against Nevaeh. I know it's weird. It sounds like Nirvana.
Kimberly.
I know, Kimberly. So you can call her Lee, you can call her Kimber.
Yes.
All together, you got to call her Kimberly. Blech. I know, it's weird. Ultimately, she tried to do dirty-handed tactics, case in point with that brass knuckles, but thanks to Havoc being her wing girl, Nirvana actually got the drop on her and pinned her for the 1, 2, 3. Ultimately, Havoc and Nevaeh are now definitely looking forward into dominating the Knockouts division. Next. And Chris, please correct me if I say anything wrong. Okay. Cancel Culture battles Crazy Steve and two mystery partners in the mixed match tag team match. Both sides prepare the bout. Okay. Next after that is Raju versus Rhino. Courtesy of the fact that Rhino speared him the week before after his match with, James Storm's former partner. What was that? Chris Harris, thank you.
Wildcat, Chris Harris. They were former NWA Tag Team Champions.
Yep. After losing to him, he ends up getting gored by Rhino. And he questions him as to why he did that. So now we have a match between him, and Rhino once again gores him and gets the victory. And he's sitting there wondering, can I get a break? Michael Elgin says, yeah, but we would have covered that. Wait. Jimmy Jacob questions Michael Elgin. Yeah, okay. It's the same thing. We have Susie confronting the returning of her dark side because of the fact that it is believed that every time she's good, she gets walked on. Kylie Ray tried to persuade her to be otherwise when Taya Valkyrie got up in her face and was pretty much just bullying the both of them. Next.
The World Heavyweight Championship Moose versus the TNA Original Hernandez for the TNA World Championship.
Ultimately, this match would be going back and forth. It was a 4-star match. I would say 5-star if the title was actually valid, but it's not. And courtesy of the fact that Moose, when the referee was distracted, he behind the leg low blowed Hernandez and then got him with the no jackhammer needed spear to retain his title. Well, in basically poor fashion.
Let's see. According to Impact, this belt is the #1 title.
Next, they don't sure as hell don't show it on the storylines.
They do. They don't put it on there. They just don't want you to know.
Okay. Next. X Division champion Willie Mack and the Deaners enjoy a cold beverage while they wonder who Chris Bay and Johnny Swinger will recruit for the 6-man tag match next week. I'm sorry, but I gotta say this. Our boy Andre reminds me of Willie Mack. They're both chill. They're both relaxed.
Yeah, I was thinking the face a little bit.
Yeah, I know, right? Almost.
I have a friend, stepfather, looks like McFoley.
Next.
Reno Scum.
And Triple XL.
Yeah.
It would be the Rio Scum and the big boys going one-on-one, and it would be Rio Scum that would get the dirty-handed play-by. But yeah, they ended up winning fair and square despite the fact that they weeded out one guy and then poof, got the victory. Next. Courtesy of last week. Wait, no, hold up. Yeah, Johnny Swinger would be going around all over Impact trying to get anybody and everybody. First off, he tries to get freaking Rick Swann. He called him up. He's not even obligated to wrestle. He's not medically cleared. Second, Willie Mack is his boy, and he's trying to start a feud saying, nah, man, I ain't going to be about that. Then he goes to, I'm trying to remember who he went after next. I know he went after Taya Valkyrie, and she's like, hell no. So we'll say who he gets later. That would be next week for the record. Next up, we have who is
Deanna Purrazzo.
Yep.
Deanna Purrazzo.
Courtesy of the fact that she would actually put the Knockouts women's champion, Joy Grace, in an armbar and crank it and nearly rip it off, we would have questions as to her history. And she said she only came for one thing, and that's to be Knockouts champion. Anyone that gets in her way is going to feel the pain. Also, she considers herself more high class and everybody else is lower class. I really don't like that. Next.
Austin Aries versus Eddie Edwards in a street fight match. Ace Austin, sorry.
Yep. Courtesy of the being accused of attacking Trey once again, this match was already set up to begin with. In this street fight, there would be tables, ladders, chairs, guardrails, all that. And they would throw out everything, including the kendo stick. And of course, Ace Austin's thinned out card. Whatever, laminated sharpened card. But while Eddie Edwards looked like he was going to have the victory, we finally see who exactly, we figured it out. Or should I say, Madison Rain, right? 16-time knockouts champion?
6 times.
16. Yeah. Why'd I say 16?
15.
In which case, she called it. She's putting the dots together. This individual who came out and slammed the hell out of Eddie Edwards with none other being Madman Fulton. And he works with Ace Austin, giving him the victory and moving on to Slammiversary. And now we see that most likely the person to assault Trey both times was Madman Fulton. And what time is it?
9:46.
All right. And that would be the end of the show? Nope. We would also get another info package of somebody in a bar or on a home bar viewing the package again and again, talking about wrestlers that were laid off and let go and are scrambling as to where will they end up next. Impact Wrestling at Slammiversary is going to be very interesting, to say the least. Okay, with that said, Mikey, what are the 2 things you can take out of this?
First up, let's talk about the Tyson and Nevaeh.
Nevaeh, yeah.
Yeah, she and Jessica Hammond, they were known as the monsters of
Mayhem.
madness. What do you call that? Mayhem. Well, these 2 women are. You better be careful. The knockers better be watching, because you're looking at 2 big monsters.
Oh, yeah. What's your second thing, Mikey?
Second thing is, who's responsible for attacking Trey?
We learned that was Madman Fulton.
Well, for one, we thought it was Ace Austin. That's for damn sure.
They weren't far off. He's working with them.
I'll be damned.
With that said, Chris, what is the 2 things you take from this show?
Madman Fulton is a Saxon for Ace Austin. Trying to eliminate Trey for the matchup.
What's the second thing?
Second thing, Monster of Madness, and Kimberly, and she was trying to cheat.
Yep.
But it didn't happen. Yeah, but it didn't happen.
What's your 2 things, bro?
Well, I don't really watch Impact, but I'm going to say this for those of y'all who don't know, who are asking where is Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, wait. Save that for after. Okay. Me? I just have to take the fact that Willie Mack went stone cold. And say, "Oh, hell yeah." And like, what you say? "Oh, hell yeah." You talking that trash. Yeah. The other thing is definitely Madman Fulton. Knowing that he made his return and aligned himself with Ace Austin is surprising and yet not surprising. Definitely seeing where this goes. All right. Look up June 22nd. Right. Let me see. Double check on my end. Yep. 22nd. Wait. No. 23rd.
Impact.
Yeah. My mistake. It would be June 16th, not June 15th. I thought I was reading that wrong on the calendar. Yours, it would be the 23rd.
Okay.
23rd. And while he's looking that up, a shout out to our fellow brethren of the Heavens Monsters podcast, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube channels will be in the descriptions down below, as always. And a remaining shout out to Cruz Petrie and T-Money, along with Renee, Farrell, and Delvin. This is going to be interesting. That's the anniversary. We got Canadians being called up. We have Moose going around claiming to be the dominant champion while the management says that. That's going to be interesting. All right, next. Here we go.
Tasha Steeles with Kiera Hogan versus Nubia with Havoc.
So it'd be a one-on-one competition to determine who is the better team. The Straight Steel and Fire or the Monsters of Mayhem. In which case, it's a one-on-one competition with their girls in their corners. Too bad for them. If I remember correctly, Havoc was outed while Kiera Hogan helped Steel to get the win. In which case, they're quickly running and, doing their taunts and stuff. Next.
Mm-hmm.
Knockouts champion Jordan Grace interrupts an interview on
Deanna
Yeah,
Purrazzo.
yeah. In which case, with Tommy Dreamer also involved, I forget who the host of the show was, but nonetheless, they talked the smack, and Jordan Grace said, the next time, if you try that again, trying to jump me like you did, she did it twice. She did it twice. She says if she does it a third time, she's going out for blood. And she is looking at her like she is privileged, saying that you ain't going to do nothing. You're just a barbaric animal who's looking to be put down. I'm like, ooh. Damn fighting words. Damn fighting words. Next. Yeah, we always say that. You got an interview from her. Oh, that's right. Diana Purrazzo.
Deanna Purrazzo.
Diana Purrazzo, the woman in question, gets immediately interviewed, but then tells. Hold up.
Gia Miller.
Gia Miller, wife to Eddie Edwards, she tries to say that she's been there for quite a long time, and she has some experience to know that to give.
Wait. I thought it was Alicia Edwards.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. Alicia Edwards. There she is. Alicia. Yeah. Gia Miller must be the interviewer. Cause I'm like, who was Eddie Edwards' wife? I'm reading it right here. Cause it's been a while since we heard from her. But, Alicia. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. I was wondering. Wait, what's her name?
Yeah.
Alicia Edwards then goes on to, like I said, trying to converse with her to try and at least get her piece to say that what she's doing is wrong. She did not give a damn that she thinks that she's another commoner and she's going to whoop her ass. And she takes that offensively and says, I accept your challenge. We're like, whoop, we're going to have a match. Next. Johnny Swinger tries to recruit Rick Swann, like I said. And he says no to that. So he's going around looking for him. They're looking for another partner. The reigning tag team champions, the North, are furious. Courtesy of last week, I forgot that. They go up to these guys and they wonder, who is watching their match? Nobody. They go around backstage to see what the hell they're looking at. They're looking on somebody's iPad and they slap it knowing that the talk. Welcome back. The talk was the fact that Ken Shamrock was everything people could talk about on Impact Plus. And that was Fury and Ethan Page as well as Josh Alexander. So Ethan Page this week is talking smack to his tag team partner and Ken Shamrock is within earshot and he walks right up to him. They end up challenging Josh Alexander to a match, and we're gonna have a match next month. Ah, shoot. I don't know what the hell. Moose is holding people hostage. He's literally talking to 4 people already and grabs a 5th person that's just walking by and forces him to sit down and gives his piece that he's this, that, and he's that he should be recognized as the champion instead of this pathetic excuse, Tessa Blanchard. Here comes Crazy Steve, and he's saying, look, it's the false champion. He's a fake champion. Look, I am not a fake champion. So when we have our match next week, I'm going to show you just how much of a champ I am when I give you a title shot. You gonna give me a title shot? Oh, that means I could be the fake champion. Woo, we gonna have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
So he don't have his buddies no more.
Nope.
Well, one.
Yeah, Rosemary's there, but he's not teaming up with her. And then there's Abyss.
Yeah.
No sign of Abyss. What's next?
Deonna Purrazzo versus Alicia Edwards.
Sadly to say, Alicia put up a fight, but once she got into that armbar, that was it. She tapped out. So definitely looking into this. Jordynne Grace comes to the rescue because she didn't want to let go, and Deonna just runs and mouth off and saying, my time. This is my time. Jordynne Grace says, I'm the champ. This is my time. No, we're doing it on my time. We're going to do it at Slammiversary. Next. His ride's coming. Yep. Rick Swann. Suicide. He asked suicide. Johnny Swinger was asking suicide. He said, we're going to have to lose the mask. The ladies don't like the mask. He's like, screw that. Oh, he bailed on me. He asked his Taya Valkyrie. She said no. Supermex. He asked him, but said, you know what? I'll do it if you can beat me in an arm wrestling match. He freaking prunes his arm. So he's striked out. 4 people in a row. And Chris Bay is wondering, do you got a partner yet? No, man, I'm still looking. Next. Nope. Keep going. Next up, we were supposed to have a match between Ken Shamrock and Josh Alexander of the North. But instead, when Ken Shamrock came out, both the North jumped Ken Shamrock, and Ken Shamrock was putting up one hell of a fight, but it was a 2-on-1 handicap game, and they laid him out. The officials were having to come out and stop him, and when they were just looking at him and say, touch me! I dare you! I dare you to touch me! Next up. Read it.
Taya Valkyrie with Johnny E. Bravo versus Susie.
It would be Taya Valkyrie bullying Susie, but ultimately she would say, hello, hey. And she goes and smacks her around, beats her up, and ultimately gets the win on her. And we're all wondering, how is Susie going to take this if Su Yung comes out? Next. Ah, yes. Johnny Bravo finally finds a partner. Johnny Swinger. Oh, Johnny Bravo. We just mentioned his name. Sorry. Ultimately, we would have Johnny Swinger finally find a partner, and Chris Bay is like, who'd you get? It would be Rahit Raju. And it's like, Rahit? Really? Dude. Because he knows he had a losing streak, and he's right. Rahit's like, dude, I'm getting paid. I'm getting this. I'm getting this car. I'm like, what the hell? That seriously? Oh. And Rahit Raju is actually second guessing this himself. So immediately they have to do the match right there with a 6-man tag between Chris Bay, Johnny Swinger, Rahit Raju against Willie Mack and the Deaners. With a on-the-spot tag team partnership, it would be Chris Bay, Swinger, and Rahit Raju getting the win using all sorts of dirty-handed tactics, in which case leaves in the ring Willie Mack, the Deaners, pissed off. And they're just laughing it up, going, ha ha ha, we got you. Also, surprisingly, this has been a victory for Rahit Raju in such a long time. We're talking like over a month. Damn. Next up. TJP and Falaba confronts Rito Scum for 2 weeks ago being accused of being one of the people that attacked Trey. They didn't like that, knowing that they were good people compared to Rito Scum that have a habit of doing things. And they said in their defense, if we ain't being paid, we ain't got no business. He still hasn't paid back our checks. We're still waiting for that. So since they brought it up, they better put up. Next week, we will have, or tomorrow, this Tuesday, we will have TJP Falaba versus Rio Scum. Next. Oh boy. Announce it.
Madman Fulton with Ace Austin versus Eddie Edwards.
This would be a full-on one-on-one match that a lot of us were thinking that Eddie Edwards was going to bring it. He tried. But damn, man. The whole time, Madman Fulton was playing with him. Literally. He could have ended the match anytime, but he kept beating him up. He was even saying something. What was he saying? I forget. You know what Madman Fulton reminds me of?
Yeah.
Lance Archer from AEW.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a dream match right there. Madman Fulton versus Lance Archer. Woo! Sadly to say, as I said, Madman Fulton laid out Eddie Edwards multiple times to a point that he's trying to pick himself up and he just gets slammed again. So with that said, Madman Fulton wins the match. Is there anything else? Yep. Even I believe the North were making fun of, what's his name?
D'Lo Brown.
Yeah, they were making fun of D'Lo Brown, and he would make this mention because next up after that show was Impact 60, where they go back on the good old days, and this episode would focus nothing but aces and eights. So D'Lo Brown says, man, I'm getting sick and tired of people treating me like a joke. We need to get the boys back together. As he says that and leaves the laptop, in the chair behind him is the jackets. One jacket, should I say. The jacket of Aces and Eights that he was a member of. And that ended the show. Woo! Ooh, ooh, ooh. So,
vest. They ain't wearing no jackets.
The vest. Thank you.
Yeah.
Vest.
Yeah.
I thought it was a leather jacket, but it's a leather vest. Mm-hmm. So since you're on time, go ahead and give us your two thoughts and the mention of what is going on with Impact Wrestling and Wrestling Today. Go ahead.
Okay, the whole thing about D'Lo Brown, I will agree with him. They do make him like he's a joke, and he's not. He's a legend. He should be treated with respect. And I do, and he does bring back the Aces and Eights. That's good, but I hope he doesn't do it as a heel. I like to see him do it as a babyface.
All right, mention on what's going on with Impact.
But Impact Wrestling had made the decision to call Tessa Blanchard and tell her she is fired and has been stripped of the Impact World Championship because she has not been showing up. Because she said that she's still in Mexico and they were really mad that she's making them look bad. So they decided to fire her and strip her of the world title of Impact Wrestling.
And after that, who came right after her?
Moose. Michael Elgin has also been fired because the whole sexual allegations thing.
Yep. Because of this thing going around with this missing Army soldier woman, still no body found, and accused of rape, that many people are coming out and making their voice heard about sexual harassment and rape. Whether they're true or they're just looking for a paycheck, in which a lot of that has been proven. So with Michael Elgin being fired, it's likely that his case was solid, that he had sexual harassment or raped somebody. I don't know what the case was. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is that he claimed that he did.
He claimed he did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, he claimed guilty. Fuck. Damn, bro. Anything else?
Well, okay, well, I'll tell you about the Kurt Angle thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, Kurt Angle was accused of sexual raping his ex-girlfriend, and she sued him for that and took him to court. And they said that they both sued each other, and no one believed a word she said because he had proof and evidence that none of the stuff she was saying was true.
Time and date, alibi, video footage.
Yep.
People pointed out, I was with him.
He was, and all that stuff, and he was trying to do everything. He told his side of the story that she wouldn't leave the house, and she kept on staying. She keep using call, and he ready to call the police on her.
Wait, that's almost relaxed.
Here I come. Huh? Alright, here I come. I'm coming outside right now.
Okay, last thing. Who is now being signed with Impact Wrestling?
The tag team of Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, and Kurt Angle's girlfriend lost the case. Kurt Angle won.
Yep. And what are the two things you can take out of this show that we just covered?
Well,
What's the two pet peeves?
don't do anything crazy, get you in trouble.
No, I was saying like that. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to leave on that note then, bro. All right. Leaving the podcast. Team Money. Have a good night, bro. Safe trip home. See you tomorrow. Okay. Sorry for that delay. Mikey, get your 2 cents on 2 parts of that show. What do you want to cover? Hello?
I know he's knocked out.
Mikey!
Yeah.
Want to get your 2 cents on 2 parts of that thing we just covered?
Wild and crazy, man. Wild and crazy.
All right. Chris, your turn.
I would put in for Willie Mack and Diener, but the dirty tactic, Bahi Barsu, Chris Bay, and that moron.
Johnny Swinger.
Tony
Yeah.
Swinger.
Yeah, who got the pin on who, Chris?
Chris Bay got the pin and then the exhibition champion.
Willie Mack. Oh.
Yeah.
What's your second thing you got a pet peeve about?
Matt Bolton and Eddie Edwards. To try his best to try to beat Madman Bolton, but it didn't happen. He lost.
Okay, I'm gonna get my two pet peeves. I'm kind of getting mad at this new woman because she's treating all the wrestlers and Jordan Grace like crap, saying that she's above them, like she's like from the Beverly Hills and we are from the streets, or they're from the streets. I'm like, hell no. Hell no. Girl, you better watch yourself before Jordan Grace wrecks you. Woo! And the other thing, let's see. Man Fulton. No, the second thing I gotta mention is Ken Shamrock. When he was supposed to have a one-on-one match with Josh Alexander, they jumped him. That is not right. They knew they couldn't take him. With all this hype going around with Ken Shamrock as being the newest edition of the Hall of Fame, and everybody's looking up his footage on Impact Plus, they're getting mad that he's getting all the attention while they're taking names and being the longest reigning tag team champions of Impact Wrestling. Who had the longest reign before them, Chris?
American Most Wanted.
Did they break their record yet?
I don't know.
Good question.
I did.
How do you feel about those things, Mikey? I think Mikey falling asleep. It is late. It is, I think, 10 o'clock. Yep, it's 10:10. Boy, Mikey's gonna fall asleep. All right, Mikey, wake up.
I'm listening.
We're gonna end the show, Mikey. You ready to get your thumbs up, thumbs down?
Let's do this.
All right. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the end of our show. Thank you for watching, and thank you guys for being a part of it. You liked this episode, give it a thumbs up. You didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit that subscribe button, you like the content, and hit that notification bell for the next Heaven's Monsters podcast. I'm Serg Dragon. T-Money just left. This is Chris Petrie, and Mikey needs to go to sleep. So I'm going to let him. So with that said, bye.